Hello, world. Welcome to PonderCast episode 11. We've made it this far, and we have one of my newer friends. He is Mr. Explore Like a Pirate. He is the gamification guru.
Love it.
And I want to thank him for coming to South Bend for our Ed Tech in the Bend back in August, Mr. Michael Matera.
Well, thanks for having me on your show and having me at Ed Tech in the Bend. It was an excellent time there. Especially the pizza the night before was delish.
Yeah.
That was just an awesome time and a great place to connect. And they're just a wonderful group of educators.
Yeah, thanks. And back when you and I were hanging out, having pizza, getting ready for the conference the next day, I was kind of like getting to know you and I was kind of talking a little trash about your Brewers and my Cubs, and now I am sorry.
Yeah, they won tonight.
And it wasn't right. And I was getting ready to dial you up, and it came across my phone, and I just thought, of course, today of all days.
Nice.
So, all right, let's just jump right in and let everybody get to know you. So, Michael, what are you teaching and how's it going?
Well, the year is going swimmingly. I'm absolutely loving my year this year, trying some new things. I teach sixth grade world history. I'm up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, teaching sixth grade at University School of Milwaukee. It's a great place, wonderful community. It's a K-12 school, which I kind of dig, being able to see the kids as they get older, see the kids that are coming up towards you. My daughter goes to school there too, so it's fun to see her. She's in second grade. It's just a wonderful community. And in the classroom, I do all sorts of zany things. I've been kind of my big thing, Seth already sort of mentioned it, is gamification. I just really love this idea of adding these game elements to our classroom. Doesn't mean we're playing games. It means what is it about a game that's just so motivating, so inspiring, so fun. And it really does produce just wonderful relationships, student to student, student to teacher within our classroom. And I don't know, it's just so fun to see and so fun to be a part of.
It is. It changes. It makes the classroom fun again. It's the reason why we do sports. It's the reason why we came to school in kindergarten and first grade.
That's right.
It's great. So I love doing that too. All right. So part of my show is the tech part of it, and educators sharing a tech tool that helps them in the classroom or at life. So what are you going to blow our minds with tonight?
All right, so there was a few that were bouncing through my head, and I narrowed it down to this one. This came on the scene last year, end of last school year, and I don't know, it's pretty awesome. It is called Gimkit, GIMKIT.com, and it's if any of your audience has played Kahoot or knows Kahoot, it is kind of I don't know if better is the right word. It's different, but it's similar in terms of that same sort of excitement, sort of quick action. But I'm kind of excited to blow your mind with some of the features this has. So, right. Much like Kahoot, you're kind of given the multiple choice based questions or fill in the blank. So you can't do that on Kahoot. So you can do fill in the blank. You do have to generate the sort of question bank ahead of time, just like Kahoot. But here's where the difference is. So everyone signs in. Okay, so I guess that's just like Kahoot. We all sign into the game. Then you hit play. And there are different ways to play, but it all sort of centers around accruing so much money. And when you start, answering the right questions worth $1. And then if you're on a streak, it's worth $3. But then there's this shop that you can spend your money on in the game, and there are 4 categories of upgrades, and the 4 categories are sort of money per question. So I could kind of buy level 1 of that, and so instead of my question being worth just $1, now I think the base question's worth $5, and then the streak bonus of $2 more. Then the other category is streak bonus. So I can go up in streak bonus and make my streak bonus more. Then there's another category that's just general multiplier. It makes both of those go up. And then the last category is insurance. So when I get a question wrong, kind of like Jeopardy style, you lose some money.
Okay.
But you could like pad that so that I don't lose as much, which is really like an interesting game mechanic and game choice. Like if you really are solid on the content, you're not going to waste any of your dollars buying insurance. You're just going to buy more of the multipliers and the things that are going to earn you money faster. Right. And the way you structure the game, you can choose where it's individual, where like each student has to earn a certain amount. So Gimkit, you can assign it as like homework. So every student, it can tie into Google Classroom. Every student has to earn $15,000, and then they're going to just continue to play this review game until they hit 15,000. You can play it as like a group mode, like it's like a competition where once the entire class reaches, you pick like a higher number, like 15 million. And because of the growth, like you get there pretty fast actually because of the multipliers and the other things.
Right.
But what I like is, unlike Kahoot, it is individual. So you're not all looking at the screen up at the front. So it's self-paced.
Okay.
So we're not all on the same question. Gimkit's just spitting questions out to all of us.
I like
and
that.
It's awesome for actual content like review, because if 15 million's the mark, and let's say I put 20 questions in there, and Seth, you've answered all 20, and we as a whole group aren't at 15 million, Gimkit will just continue to ask you the same 20 questions. So like when you're practicing like science review words, you know, like vocab terms, right, it'll just keep spitting those same questions at you. But it'll also show you the data points, like, did the student get it right every time? So like, were they guessing? Did they not know? Like, oh, no, they knew them all at the same time. Students love it, the shop with the individual like choices. Game mechanic on the shop is huge. Like there comes a point where students in like a fraction of a second have to decide, is it worth buying the upgrade? You know, like if we're at 14 million, buying this last upgrade might cost literally like $3 million or something, but it'll make your questions now worth like 1.5 million. But will you answer enough questions to get back the 3 million you spent?
Right.
Or will the game be over? Like, because then at the end it'll show like who has the most money, and you're like, oh, I spent 3 million of my dollars to buy this upgrade, and I only answered one question, which was only worth 1.5 million. But they have to decide that like this, because like we're all racing towards that end.
That's awesome.
It's fantastic. And I should let you talk.
I was just going to ask, do you see students playing this like outside of class?
Once I showed kids Gimkit last year, they all built their kind of almost like Quizlet, like they all built their own Gimkits and shared them with each other. So yes,
awesome.
The other thing that I think is just sort of a cool backstory is this was entirely designed by a high school junior and like put out there on his own. Like it's like, that's it. If there isn't a big company behind it, that's it. It's still just him. He's doing it. He works. His high school is one of these that it's a charter school, and it's like half co-op, half like classes. And so they have to create something, and he chose to do this. And like even extra backstory I'm going to toss at your crew here.
Keep going.
Is so this was his junior year. The summer of his, like between his freshman and his sophomore year, is when he first learned to code.
Yes.
So I mean, like, just learned to code, then chooses to do this.
That is amazing.
I love it.
Yeah. So I'm definitely going to throw that link down below in the descriptions so all of the viewers can just start playing. And I might be up all night playing that one.
It's great. I can't wait to see how you use it with your kids.
Yeah.
I hope they check it out. It is it's a powerful tool.
And what's the
and something different.
Is it just gimkit.com or
Gimkit.com?
Okay.
And I think you can make 3, like it's kind of like Kahoot. You can make so many for free, and then you could buy like a unlimited.
All right. And help high school, college age young man just reach
Yeah,
his goals.
right?
So what exciting stuff's happening in the classroom?
So the classroom, I'm trying like different zany things. I started a YouTube channel a year ago. I've been keeping that up, and that's been a lot of fun and kind of tweaking with that. And then with my students this past week, I did a review game that's in my book. So it's called Danger Cards. Uh, that one's like super fun. It's like a bluffing game that students have to do with the content. But I sort of sat down and decided to spin that, and actually that's going to be my next YouTube video is taking an already used review game and can you spin it or add to it. And kids loved my sort of modification. So on this one, not only did you get like points for answering it correctly, but who's ever in control of the board, if you can think like Jeopardy style, like whatever group gets to pick the the values, also could, on these cards that they get, could challenge other groups to some physical feats for more points. So not only would they like answer the question correct, and then like all the teams that answered the question got 75 points, the team in control could say like, all right, Seth, we're going to challenge like your group to a plank challenge for 50 more points. And then like one member from your group, one member from their group had to like go and like get in plank position, and like first one to drop would lose and the other one would get 50 points. And while they're doing that, I just move on to the next round of questions. So like the other kids still at their desks aren't watching the planking. They're like answering these new questions, and like the kids doing the planks are complaining. And then we got like wall sits still happening from the last question. It was just a ton of fun, ton of energy, and it brought a lot of laughter and a lot of joy to the classroom.
That's making me sweat. That is great ideas.
It was fun.
That's
It was
awesome.
a lot of fun.
What is the exciting stuff happening at the Matera household with you and the daughter?
So my daughter and I are just up to all sorts of adventures. I absolutely love. My daughter's in 2nd grade, so she's like inquisitive, but she's like old enough to like teach and do things with her. So I absolutely love cooking, and I've been doing more and more of that. Like I used to like it. Now I like love it. Now I'm like trying to do all sorts of chefy things with it, if you will.
Yeah.
And so about a month ago, we started watching MasterChef Junior together.
Oh, we watch it all the time here.
But I mean, like, it just exploded the amount that she now wants to like get in there and cook, and that's just been such a like fun bonding time with her to like teach her how to like knead dough and like how to cut things, and I don't know. She's just
and those home ec classes sometimes aren't there in the schools anymore, and it is just what every kid needs. You see the applied sciences and the applied math, and it's great for everybody.
Well, I like too, like, it's such a good example of like she needs to focus on like what I'm telling her. She then needs to execute what I'm telling her to do. But then there's like the immediate sort of visual effect of doing it right or wrong. So like what a great like learning system there, right? You know, like focus, then apply it, and then kind of get immediate feedback whether it tastes right, looks right, you know. I think it's just a good training tool. And I'd like to believe that it's like helping her like in school and in life in general.
Oh yeah, for sure it is. And if the Matera house is anything like the Ponder house, sometimes it turns into a concert because we have Alexa right on the shelf in the kitchen.
That's right.
And it turns into a jam session. So
that's right.
That's right. Bonding over all kinds of stuff. So
I like to think too that it's one of those things that when she's 30 years old, she's gonna look back and say, you know, that she loves cooking and she loves food, and it dates back to time in the kitchen with me.
For sure. For sure.
It's my hope.
This has been amazing talking to you. You know, you just brought up your YouTube channel where you have been talking about for a while now the 5 for 5, and I just got done doing the 5 for 5, so I thank you for bringing that to my attention, and I hope people out there will use the hashtag 5 and then the number 4 5 and just kind of share what else is going on. And I will definitely link Michael's YouTube channel to this. But I want Michael to tell us where people can find you.
All right, so probably like the clearinghouse of all my stuff is MrMatera.com. That would link you to my podcast, which is Well Played. It would link you to my YouTube channel, which is Mr. Matera as well. My Twitter is at Mr. Matera. So any of these really would work. I don't have a MySpace account anymore.
I mean, we can't forget this bad boy.
That's right.
This is...
I also published a book 2 years ago. Is still a relevant book on, actually more and more relevant. I think gamification is still growing in schools, and it's just a really good resource. I sort of made it for that resource that I would hope would be much like Seth had there, like right in arm's reach, so that when you're lesson planning, you're coming up with different ideas. Like I already mentioned, I used it this week. I was like, what's a review game in my thing? I think there's like 28 in there, and I was like, let's pull one of these out.
Yeah. It is one of those books that I just have just notes in, and I just keep it close. I had it back there for product placement, I'm not going to lie. But it's usually on my desk. Just right there, ready to go. So thank you for that.
No problem. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right, everybody. I'm going to ask you to subscribe and like and share and comment below, and we'll throw some links down below to all of Michael's contact information, and you can grab his book. Where's the best place for them to purchase the book?
Amazon.
There we go.
That'd be great.
All right. We'll send you to Amazon. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye-bye.